So merchant codes are back on the table. Let's go ahead and talk about it. What's up, Wolverines? Welcome back to the channel. My name is John Crump, and this is John Crump News, where we discuss 2A every day. Thank you for all your well wishes. I am recovering. I am not recovered, but I am recovering. I'm on the road to recovery from pneumonia, which was terrible. Today, we are brought to you by you wonderful people. There's tons of ways to support the channel down below, so go ahead and choose one of those ways and support us if you so choose. If you choose not to, just go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. That does help as well. Today, we are going to be talking about credit card merchant codes. A merchant code is a numerical identifier that tells what type of store you used your credit card at. So if you take your Visa, MasterCard, or Discover into a grocery store, it will be marked as a grocery store. If you go into a gas station, it will be marked as a gas station, a convenience store, and so forth. Now there is a movement to try to get credit card companies to use a specific merchant codes for gun stores. And this is kind of scary because it allows people to track gun purchases. Discover tried to do this, but there was a lot of pushback, so they dropped it. And there's been a lot of pressure on credit card companies to go ahead and enact these merchant codes. There was an unsuccessful attempt to try to get a federal bill across with a requirement that gun stores have their own merchant code and that credit card companies have to use that merchant code. That has also failed. So what the anti-gunners are doing now is they're going state to state and trying to get states to pass laws to require credit card companies such as Visa, MasterCard, Discover to add merchant codes for gun purchases. And we are seeing a bill in Colorado that is asking for this. This is Bill SB 24-066. This bill will require Visa, MasterCard, and Discover to issue merchant codes for gun stores inside Colorado. This bill has been pushed heavily by Guns Down America. This is their brainchild. Basically, what Guns Down America has said is that if these codes pop up, it will allow the banks to block the transaction for bad people. How do they know they're bad people? No idea. They didn't say. They just said it will block the transaction for bad people. What they mean to say is it can block transactions for law-abiding Americans trying to buy guns from gun stores. You got to remember, to buy a gun from a gun store, you have to go through a background check. And a bank preventing you from buying a gun because you passed a background check and they just decided they don't want to do business with firearm stores is not right. It is definitely a violation of your freedom. It will also allow banks to track firearms purchases. So they can track firearms purchases and turn that information over to law enforcement. This just isn't my theory. This is the actual stated purpose of the bill, is to collect information on firearms purchases and turn over the information to law enforcement about the people that buy firearms, which is scary. This is definitely a registration, and this is definitely Big Brother trying to watch you and I. This bill is not about making us safer. Guns Down America and also the Democrats in Colorado say that this bill will make us safer. It will not do that, not at all. When you go into a firearm store, you fill out a 4473 and they run a background check on you. What the banks are going to do is nothing more than stop law-abiding citizens from buying firearms. And that is the whole entire point of this bill. So do not believe the public safety aspect of the bill because it's just not there. This isn't about stopping crime. This isn't about stopping bad people from getting firearms. This is about a fundamental hatred for your God-given, constitutionally protected right to bear arms. Guns Down America and other groups such as Brady and Everytown, they hate that you have the ability to defend yourself with a firearm. Politicians like Sleepy Joe in the White House They don't like the ability that you have to defend yourself, your life, in your home, and your family with a firearm because, hey, they want control, and you cannot control an armed population. It's just not feasible. So they want to take away your guns. They have failed in the legislatures and they have failed in the courts. So now they are trying to pass these thinly veiled attempts to infringe on your rights. This is not going after firearms. This is going after banks, which will allow them to discriminate against you. We need bills to protect people in the firearms industry. We need bills to prevent banks from discriminating against us for exercising our constitutional right. It is a constitutionally protected right, but it is a right from God, the Creator, whatever you want to think. It is a right from a higher power. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights does not grant us these rights. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights are a document of negative liberties. What I mean by that is it tells the government that these are acknowledged human rights and you cannot violate this no matter what. It puts severe limitations on the federal government and tells them, don't you dare infringe on these rights. And yet we see Democrats, especially Democrats, but some Republicans too, that try to do this. We see groups like Moms Demand Action, Everytown, and Guns Down America trying to get politicians to go ahead and infringe on our rights. We have to stand up and say we will not bow down to tyranny. We will not turn over our firearms. We will not obey these constitutionally dubious laws. We will not let you take our freedom. We will not let you take our liberty. We are free men and women, and we will remain free. And if we are armed, you cannot take away our freedom. Tyranny needs a disarmed population before it can flourish. And when a government tells you that they want to take firearms for your safety, you should start worrying, because when people say that you don't need a gun, that is when you do need a gun. So if you're in Colorado, what you need to do is contact your representatives and tell them to vote against this unconstitutional bill. You have to tell them to take a stand. And if they don't take a stand, that you will do everything in your power to vote them out. Politicians care about power. That's what they care about. They want to maintain their power. And a threat of taking away their power sometimes can get stuff done. So we just have to be the squeaky wheel. We have to be louder than the anti-gunners on the other side. We have to force these politicians to do our bidding. We have to use our willpower to push them to do the right thing, because this bill is not only a violation of the Second Amendment, but it is also a violation of free market principles. So go ahead and contact them and push them to do the right thing. With that, I am out of here. So just stay ever vigilant, stay ever free, keeping the fight. I am out of here. Wolverine's motherfucker.